Hi gradettes, welcome back to another one of our video lessons. So today we're going to continue with constructions of angles. So in the previous lesson we looked at pages 96 and 97. We looked at how we construct a 90-degree angle. Then we constructed a 90-degree triangle where we bisected that 90-degree angle to make two 45-degree angles. And then we actually showed that all three of those triangles are right angle triangles. Remember, in the last video, we did page 97. All right, so let's continue. I asked you to do exercise 10.4, so I hope you guys did that. We are going to continue now with more constructions of angles. I'm going to teach you how to construct a 60-degree triangle or an angle, and then from there we're going to learn how to get a 30, 15, 7.5, and so on. Okay. All right, guys, so I'm just going to read these three lines on top of the exercise. So it says, you can construct an angle of 60 degrees by constructing an equilateral triangle with three equal sides using your compass. By bisecting one of these angles, you are constructing two angles of 30 degrees. All right, guys, so remember, we're not using our protractor to measure. We only use the protractor to check how accurate you were, okay? So your actual constructions have to be done with a compass without a protractor. All right, so let's do this. Let's make an equilateral triangle, or construct it, and then we'll bisect one of the angles to get an angle of 30 degrees. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a line, a construction line. And on that construction line, we're going to measure whatever distance. Let's say, I don't know, for you guys, let's maybe do 7 centimeters. Okay, so we'll measure from point A to point B, 7 centimeters, and we'll draw that in dark like that. Okay, so there's my line AB. Okay, we know it's 7 centimeters, or you can make it 5 or 6, or up to you, but I think 7 will work. Right, so remember, equilateral triangle means the sides are all equal and all the angles will be equal. So 180 degrees divided by 3 gives us an angle of 60, which is what we want. So we need to make an equilateral triangle, meaning the sides have to be the same. Okay, well, that's easy. We're going to set our compass to this distance, 7 centimeters. We're going to put our needle point at A, stretch it out to 7, which is B, and we're going to make an arc like that. Okay. Now we're going to flip it around. We're going to put our needle point into here, stretch it, open it to A, and make another mark like that. Okay. So this intersection will give us the third point of the triangle. So we're going to join it there and there. Okay, so here's my equilateral triangle. Does it make sense that it is an equilateral triangle? Well, yes, because all the sides are the same. Because remember, we measured from here to here, and then we made that mark over there. So essentially, this distance and that distance is the same. And from here, this distance and that distance is the same, meaning that all the distances are the same. Okay, great. So now we've constructed our 60-degree angle, which is each one of these. Okay, so I'll say 60, 60, and 60. Okay. Right, now we need to bisect this angle. Okay, do you guys remember how to do this? So to bisect an angle, what we need to do is we need to make two marks on these two arms of the angle. Okay, so we're going to put our compass point into here, open it up, make a mark there, and make a mark there. Okay, or you can even draw a circle, half a circle like that. Okay, or a quarter circle. Right, so you draw and guys, remember, this is construction lines. Only your solid triangle and the lines that I ask you to draw in are solid lines. So even this is not like a dark line. It's just a little construction line that I can see and you can see, but this is a lot darker. Okay. Right, so we make our two marks over there and over there with our compass. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put our needle point into one of these points and that one. We're going to open up our compass some distance, so say maybe that much. Don't go too narrow, it's got to be quite like maybe somewhere here. So you're going to open your compass and you're going to make a mark like that. keeping your compass at that same distance, okay, you're going to put your needle point here, keeping the same distance, you're going to make another mark like that. All right. Now you're going to join this line. Well, let's see, what do they actually ask us to do? They say construct equilateral triangle ABC and then construct an angle of 30 degrees by bisecting angle ABC with line BD. Okay, so we want to bisect it with line BD. Okay, so should have named this a little bit differently. So it's A, B, C, and they want us to construct this line, which is a bisector, and we call it D. Okay, so there's the line cutting our angle in half, and we call it D, and they said call it BD. All right, so we can see that in the worked example as well. All right, guys, so that's how we bisect an angle. This is how we construct an equilateral triangle with 60-degree angles. Okay, now remember from yesterday, we did a 90-degree angle. If we cut that in half, we get a 45. If we cut that in half, we get 22.5. If we cut that in half, we get 11.25. Okay, and so on. So do you see how we can get various angles so that when you put all those pieces together, we can come up with a different angle? The same thing is going here. We chop the 60 in half to get 30. We can also cut the 30 in half to get a 15. We can cut that 15 in half to get a 7.5. Okay. Right, so there's many combinations that we can do. Right, now that we've learned how to bisect angles, how to come up with 90, 45, 60, and a 30, we can continue with this section and do exercise 10.5. So on top of exercise 10.5, it says you can construct other angles of various sizes without using a protractor. For example, you have already learned that you can construct angles of 45 degrees and 60 degrees without using a protractor. These angles can be added together to construct an angle of 105 degrees. If you bisect the angle of 105 degrees, you get two equal angles of 52.5. Adding 45 and 52.5 gives us an angle of 97.5. You can construct an angle of 15 degrees by bisecting an angle of 60 to get two 30-degree angles. You then bisect one of these to get an angle of 15. You can construct an angle of 330 by constructing an angle of 60 and bisecting it to obtain an angle of 30. The reflex angle of this angle is 330. Okay. So all they're trying to tell us there is that if we don't have a protractor, we can still guess, or not even guess, but estimate fairly accurately and work out these specific angles. So let's say you're stuck somewhere and you don't have a protractor and you need to work out an angle. Well, here's a way for you to do it. You just need a compass and a ruler, and that's it. Okay. Right, let's look at exercise 10.5. Use a pencil, ruler, and compass for all your constructions in this exercise. You may only use protractor to check your accuracy. Okay, so guys, your protractor comes out right at the end. When you've constructed all these angles, then you can check them. Okay, or as you've done one, check it, but don't use it to cheat and, find the angles that way. All right, so let's look at number one. Construct ABC, which is 60 degrees, and then bisect ABC with line BD. Now bisect DBC with line BE. Check your accuracy by measuring the angles with a protractor. All right, guys, I'll help you and work through this exercise with you, but I do want to see this in your books done properly, guys. So I'll do it on the board. I'll show you how, and, well, how do we bisect all this? Excuse me. Okay, right, let's go. So exercise 10.5. Let's start. Construct triangle ABC, which is 60 degrees. Okay, remember, we just done that. Okay, we want triangle angle ABC, which is 60 degrees. What was our starting point? Well, our starting point was to draw a line. Okay, so it was 7 centimeters. You can make it whatever. You can make it bigger, smaller. It's up to you. So I start by drawing a construction line and then drawing this faint line. I mean, not a faint line, a dark line. Okay. So they want A, B, C. So this is a B, that's a C. Right, how do we find a 60-degree angle? Remember, we set our compass at this distance and we make a mark. We flip around, set our compass at that distance, make a mark. The intersection is going to give you the third point of the triangle. But remember, they didn't ask us for a triangle, they just wanted an angle ABC. So there's our point. So we join this line to this line here and call that point A. So there it is, ABC, and they say this is 60 degrees. Okay, so we've constructed that, and then bisect ABC with line BD. Okay, so there's triangle ABC. We need to bisect it with line BD. Right, so remember again, we put our needle point in here, we make a mark, we make a mark. Put our compass points into there, set it to a particular distance, whatever that may be. Make a mark there, make a mark there. Guys, remember, the trick here is keeping the same distance when you're doing these constructions, okay? Obviously not the same distance here and here, but here and here, and there and there. Right, so there's our mark. What we're going to do is we're going to draw a line through that, and we're going to call it BD. There it is. Okay. Now bisect DBC, okay, with a line BE. All right, so we need to do the same again, but now only for this 30-degree angle. All right, well, that's easy. We're going to do the same thing. So you can even use the same mark. What you can even do, if you are working with bisecting angles, do this. Draw yourself an arc through like that, okay? So that arc will already mark off those equal distances for you, so you don't have to do it again. So now all you do is you put your needle point in there and there, and you make a mark here, and you make a mark there. Right, now we join this line through this point, and we call it, what did they say we must call it? BE. And there's our BE. Right, let's try to label these triangles, right? So first we had a 60, which was a 30 and a 30. Hang on. Yeah, it's right. my sketch just doesn't look very accurate. Let me make it a bit more accurate. Okay, that kind of looks better. So if that angle was 60, then this is 30. Okay, and that's going to be 15 and 15. Okay, and then what we can do again is that we can bisect this angle again. Okay, so there's your two marks already. Put your compass points there, make a mark, make a mark. There's your bisected angle again. Then this is going to be 7.5, 7.5, and so on. Okay. So now if I say, right, show me an angle of 45 degrees. Okay, so I've drawn my drawing. How do I show an angle of 45 degrees? Well, find the angle of 45 degrees. Where is it? Well, 45 is a 30 and a 15. There's a 30, there's a 15. So obviously that angle will give us what we want. So angle ABE. ABE equals 45 degrees. That's how you show. Okay, because here's the drawing. I've done my constructions. I've worked it out. And then I've said what it equals to. All right, so one, we've done that. So you can use a protractor once you're done to check if you actually get those angles. Number 2A, explain how you can construct a 45-degree angle without using a right angle. Okay, guys, the answer is staring you in the face on the board, okay? How can we construct a 45-degree angle without bisecting a 90-degree? Well, we can use a 30 and a 15. 30 and a 15 gives us 45, okay? So part B says construct a 45-degree angle in 2 different ways. Okay, guys, we've just done it. So there's your one way. We've constructed it. I've shown it. There it is. Okay. And the other way is from yesterday when we construct a 90-degree angle and then we bisect that. And that will give us the 45-degree. Okay, so that's a really good question for me to ask you in our tests and exams. Okay, number 3, for each angle below. 1. State the combination of angles you need to achieve the required angle. So for 3.1, what I'm asking for, if we look at A, right, I need to draw an angle of 7.5 degrees. What angle do I need? What combination of angles do I need to get there? Okay, well, look, there's our 7.5. How did we get there? What combination of angles do I need? Well, I need a 60-degree angle. Then I cut it in by 2 to get 30. I cut it by 2 to get 15. I cut it by 2 to get 7.5. Okay. Okay, so again it says, 1. State the combination of angles you need to achieve the required angle. Number 2. Construct the angle and check your accuracy by measuring it with a protractor. You may show several of the angles below on the same sketch where possible. Okay, guys, so that's quite important. I don't want you to draw a sketch for each one of those angles. Okay, so if I've drawn this sketch right here, I can answer this question from just the sketch, because think about it, they're asking us for 7.5 degrees. Okay, well, there it is. There's 7.5 degrees. What angle is that? Well, we just have to call this another point F, and we'll say it's FBC. So FBC equals to 7.5 degrees. Okay. Then B says 15 degrees. Okay, find me a 15 degrees. Well, it could be EBC because these two are both 15. I mean, both 7.5. Or we can use this one, which is DBE. So DBE equals 15 degrees. Okay. So guys, what you need to do is draw yourself this diagram, divide it exactly like this, and then go through the angles and see what combination you can get from here. I mean, look at C, 22.5 degrees. How do we get 22.5 degrees? Remember, your only options are variations of these numbers that we're cutting in half. So 15 plus 7.5 will be 22.5. Okay. So, and in the information above, they also tell you how to get to those numbers. Which angles are we cutting in half and what are we doing? Okay, guys, so what I want you to do, we're not going to go further today, but what I want you to do is really work through exercise 10.5. Make sure you can do these constructions and bisections and get it done. Okay, cool, guys. And then from there, we're going to continue with constructing triangles in the next lesson. So I'll show you how to do that. You guys already basically know how to construct triangles. It's just triangles of different lengths. I mean, we've done an equilateral triangle already. The idea is exactly the same, but we'll get there in our next lesson. Okay, cool, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.